Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mega Master X. Joined here with me is Matt.
Joined here with you.
Is Midnight Podcast, along with Yesik.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Yesik. Today.
Not too bad, you know, playing Isaac.
Misty, aka Jake. From State
I was
Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
I've heard that you're
wearing,
always
Jake
going to
from
be
State
there.
Farm?
Like a. Are you really a neighbor? I need some sugar, actually.
He's like a neighbor.
He's like a neighbor, as in he will go at your eyes with a fork if you accidentally let your dog shit on his lawn.
He'll also throw murder machetes into your yard.
Yeah, best neighbors, really.
Murder?
I have just murdered someone.
Really? You know,
We've completely derailed you. Go on.
I'm sorry.
Now you know how I feel.
Oh my god.
Yes?
We've definitely done. And we also have Benazama.
Hello.
Who you might recognize as being the ultimate troll from my chat. And moderator.
Yes, and the ultimate troll in Yesik's videos as well. Like his
He's
last
also the guy
announcement
that buys
one.
me everything.
Like.
Also that.
So today with Midnight, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off with some news. What's been in the news that you guys like? Or find interesting?
Well, Banner Saga's finally out. The one of those games that raised way more money than it needed in Kickstarter. You know, 700% more than it had initially requested.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I actually have a bit of a discussion about this. Should Kickstarters really be allowed to go that high unless they have like predetermined stretch goals? Because it's still just the game it was promising when it was at $100,000 instead of $700,000.
No stretch goals?
Well, I
guess it's...
I think there were stretch goals, but it's kind of weird that they have to add the stretch goals after. I think there should almost be a cap, like at 200%, unless you have tons of stretch goals to begin with.
I think it would be at the discretion of the person that's pledging originally on Kickstarter. If they see that all of the pledges have been hit, unless it's something that they really, really want out of the goals themselves, like the pledge levels. Like, say for instance, for the Mighty Number 9 Kickstarter, you know, I pledged at the $100 level because I wanted that flippin' T-shirt, even though it was already at that point in its $2 million range out of $900,000. So it may be just the incentives, or you know, I really didn't care about the stretch goals because I figured it was going to hit them anyway.
So let's say you have a game and it's being created, and it reaches its goal in like the first 3 days, and then several days later, the Kickstarter is still going and it's reached like 10 times its goal, but as stretch goals they have like added multiplayer, and you're like, are we just like doubling and tripling their paycheck at this point?
I mean, I would suppose that it would assist them further in their development. I mean, any kind of money will help them get higher quality tools, more support, maybe even more staff to get it out quicker, and more polished. That's what I would assume.
Which is why I think that they should introduce like a several tiered Kickstarter system where they can already have these goals in place, so we at least know what we're contributing to.
Agreed.
And
That would be nice.
And if they don't want to, if they have a Kickstarter and they have like a maximum goal and they're like, we need this much to make the game, afterwards I don't think they should be able to raise like triple the amount without telling us where the money's going.
Certainly.
Which Kickstarter can currently do.
Yeah, well, the thing about Kickstarters is it's essentially a sales pitch without the scrutiny, because you're just sending it out to the public and just going, hey, just fund it. So that's essentially the problem there.
That's true.
So, Banner Saga.
Yes, great game, good art, quite good voice acting, surprisingly good in all ways. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it, to be honest.
That's pretty much all I had to say about it. I wasn't expecting a well-spent $20, but it was pretty cool, and I only played it for like 8 minutes.
Branching paths in it, so everybody who plays the game gets a different type of playthrough, which makes it very conducive to Let's Plays. I like that.
But how different is stuff actually, though?
So far, I do not know, but I'm assuming that the decisions can be quite different. They wouldn't put like at the very beginning of the game, they have that as an announcement, and I don't think they would add that there's branching paths. If the branching paths were like you'd wear a different colored hat at the end, you know who I'm talking to, gaming community. Giant death beams in different colors. Fucking
Lol.
what was that game even called? Mass Effect.
Mass Effect?
Yeah,
There it is.
that's the one.
Like, it wasn't even a problem if they had come up with at least 3 distinct endings with very little, within variation due to the choices you made because of the way programming works and calling back certain events. But I mean, different colored explosions or whatever, that's just unacceptable.
Although I would find it hilarious if at the end of Banner Saga, depending on what you did, you got different colored explosions as a callback to that.
That'd be
That would be
hilarious.
pretty great.
That would be funny.
Indeed. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next news story. I've actually got one myself on the back burner, inadvertently. Lead World of Warcraft system designer Greg Street, notorious for his community facing. He was very vocal in the community, and I've tweeted to the man a few times, and I've gotten a response every time. He recently left Blizzard Entertainment, went on a nice little vacation, and is now officially joining Riot Games, as everyone anticipated, I'm pretty sure. He is becoming lead designer, and I wish Greg, Ghostcrawler, I'll always know him as Ghostcrawler, best of luck in his new position.
Which one is Riot again?
Riot is the people that made League of Legends.
Oh.
Doesn't sound too surprising.
Well, if you're talking about like why are some of the old people leaving Blizzard, it's a pretty obvious answer there. It's because a lot of the people who initially funded and joined Blizzard joined like a very small development team who were really interested in building really great games, and it's become quite a bit more corporate since.
Well, it's also that, but Riot is literally in Blizzard's backyard. They're not really far from each other. So if I were working for Blizzard and living in Irvine, I would have no problem moving a couple of towns over to go join Riot, because it's right there. So that's another contributing factor too. I mean, the cost of living is pretty much the same, so you're already used to it budget-wise, and it is pretty much the same people and the same thing. And
Wasn't there some really terrible controversy about Riot Games, like before League of Legends came out, though?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Don't recall, but
I'm not a LoL player, I don't know.
But do you recall Central?
I've never played League of Legends, but I just know I hate MOBAs. So
I'm not going to go as far as to say I hate MOBAs, but I do not have the time commitment that I would like to have to play them, because I can't stand being really bad at games. And so if I took up a MOBA, that's like 300 hours of my life gone automatically. And I would not be too into that.
the only MOBA that looks remotely interesting to me is Smite.
I will admit they look pretty fun, especially Smite. I have to agree. But a lot of people are giving Smite hell because they're other fans of different MOBAs. To be honest, I don't understand why people are giving Smite hell.
Yeah, I don't either.
There's not really any precedent for it. I think it looks pretty good, fun. So
It's like giving Dota hell because of League of Legends.
exactly. Even though Dota was first. Dota
Yeah.
2, on the other hand,
Yeah,
That's-
I was meaning Dota too.
yeah. Okay.
I'm actually kind of interested to see what Blizzard comes up with from the early footage of their Dota-ish type thing. That's,
Blizzard
the Heroes of the
All-Stars.
it actually looks pretty interesting. It's not really a MOBA, and it's a lot more objective based. I think I could enjoy it. I'm not sure, but
When the beta starts, I hope to get in it.
yeah, I don't even really think it's in direct competition with other MOBAs, and I think they made a good choice there with it. Because
People have been, when it was announced at BlizzCon originally, Heroes of the Storm was met with mixed reviews. I've heard everything from oh my god, this is amazing, to I'm just going to stick with League of Legends because this seems like PvE Care Bear stuff, player versus environment. No one, it doesn't seem like much skill is required. The scope of heroes is not very broad, or just the whole spectrum. And then I hear, oh my god, you get to customize your alts. You, as Arthas, the Lich King, you can choose to summon an army of the dead, or your ultimate can be summoning Syndra Ghost of the Frostworm. So I mean, just the objectives. Now, bear in mind, Blizzard is a company that doesn't like to do stuff half-assed by any stretch of the imagination. They never have, and I don't really think they ever will.
Except they fucked up Diablo 3 initially.
Agreed.
It's getting a lot better. I've been playing the public realm test, and it's fucking great. Like, really good. But
it does seem pretty awesome. I played it a little bit myself. I'm not big on Diablo 3 though. I like Torchlight a little bit better, but that's another discussion for another day. Anywho. So, but yeah, Blizzard's. I'm looking forward to what they're coming up with in Hearthstone too. We're all pretty much unanimously surprised by Hearthstone.
Yeah, except for Benazma, he hates it.
I don't hate it. It's just too vanilla for me. Give it like 2 or 3 sets and maybe I'll warm up to it. But right now it's so brain dead and just variance based. I really don't like it.
That's part of the appeal to it though too, is that the metagame, which would be the cookie cutter decks that everyone's playing, it changes almost weekly now. And they're putting out patches at a pretty decent rate too, especially for game in beta. And something where changing one single mana cost can really screw the entire game up. I mean, that's a lot of pressure to put on that small set of cards.
Except
Mind Control needed that nerf.
You're damn right it did.
Yeah, I played like a couple games online recorded, and then I decided I was too bad to actually record, so I didn't post any of them. But during one of my recorded sessions, I had a priest deck with 3 mind controls. It was ridiculous.
Forget it.
Yeah, It was like the most insane. And I played a priest with 2 mind controls in my first game. It was the weirdest video.
I still think you should have taken the priest over the mind control that one pick though. In that one video you actually released.
Yeah, I really should have, but
yeah, because the one rule of any sort of card game based thing is you need your low drops. The high drops can come later because you're casting your low drops all the time, not your high drops. But
indeed,
that's enough of that tangent.
I just want everybody to know that if they hear jingles like bells, that's my cat.
Fantastic. Thank you for the heads up.
Also, if there's a little bit of banging around, that's probably me.
Also, if you hear some vigorous masturbating, that's probably Midknight as well.
Probably.
Sorry, back to the news. Is what I'm trying to get at here.
So, Fox is bringing Magic the Gathering to the silver screen.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Movie. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, if they have the original Wizards of the Coast art designers that do all the Magic stuff, it'll probably be pretty cool. But if Fox is doing Fox stuff, then it probably isn't cool.
You mean canceling Firefly? That type of Fox stuff?
No, that's actually not what I mean.
Because I'm never gonna I'm never gonna forgive them for that.
I mean, that was different Fox stuff. The original Fox thing that I'm talking about is, you remember in Fight Club when Marla Singer says that she's never had sex like that since she was in grade school or whatever that line was?
I've never seen
Oh, are you
Fight
talking
Club.
about the really stupid censorship you can find all over YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
That kind of stuff.
Oh.
They're just really controlling, I guess. But there's actually a funny story behind that line in Fight Club. The original line was she was talking to Tyler Durden and she was supposed to say, "I want to have your abortion," or something like that.
That is so much better.
And so the lady, the lead head of Fox was like, "That's too offensive, so we're not going to do it." But then I think it was Chuck Palahniuk or the director that was talking to her, and they were like, "Okay, we'll take it out, but the next line you can't say no to, no matter what." And so she apparently said yes to that. And so then, excuse me, she said that the next line was way more offensive, which I don't remember what the exact line was. Something about having sex in grade school.
Well, okay, I actually read a funny article recently, because, I spend most of my time on Cracked, the biggest time sink on the internet, and It was on how some companies managed to slip things by the Hollywood censorship board. And one of my favorites was, I forget what the movie's called. It's a movie that's famous for being really, really hyper violent. It's something about police, I think. Yeah, a movie.
Equilibrium?
I don't know. It came out in like the 70s. It's a cult classic.
Oh.
But
Oh, then it's not Equilibrium.
but basically what happened is, I mean, like, things would happen, like people would get their fingers broken off and twisted out of a gun and would have their heads chopped open on bandsaws, and it was like constant violence all the time. And the first time they sent it to the review board, they got an NC-17 rating on it. And they're like, and a huge list of things that they're supposed to change. So they went ahead and took the entire movie and put a bit of an orange filter on it, like a very small one, and then just sent it back. And the review board was like, this is the exact same movie. So they took it back again and put a slightly stronger orange filter on. They did that and just changed like completely meaningless things about 20 or 30 times until they just sent it back with an approval for a rated R.
Nifty.
So they
Awesome.
they literally brainwashed them with hyperviolence.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was really psyched about it. Anyways, you move.
So, does anyone else happen to have any interesting news stories that they deem awesome and want to discuss?
I do
need to
not.
Do I need to bring up the ones that I wrote?
Sure, if you'd like.
Did we cover them already, or?
What did you write?
Not the ones you wrote. I even wrote them down because you said we'd discuss them.
Yeah.
Well, I was moving my rig, so.
Well, no, we
what's
haven't
wrong there?
covered them yet.
Okay,
let's
well,
talk about the
public
let's talk
censorship.
about the biggest news in gaming. I have a new
Oh, yeah.
graphics card.
That's the biggest news in
Earth-shattering.
game.
I
Oh,
know, really. Sorry.
Man.
Okay, go on.
You narcissist.
You want to talk about the other censorship thing?
No, what is
Oh
it?
yeah, since we're on censorship, let's talk about it.
You want to do it?
I don't care. Do you want to?
I can if you want.
Anybody
You
talk about it?
researched right?
Just do
Bravely
it, Misty.
Default is being censored for North American release.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that.
Because it's too pedophilic.
Oh, okay. That's a tough one. I didn't know it was because of that.
Yeah, the
Apparently, a lot of the
character
characters
were-
are 15, and they're increasing the age of some of them and clothing them more.
I think increasing the age I can see, but I mean, I think there are some censors that make sense and should happen, and this is more than likely going to end up being one of them. Like, if it's like pixels on a Final Fantasy III character, come on. Like, really? I'm gonna go become a massive rapist because I saw 3 pixels. Yes!
I would.
That is the reason I am a massive rapist. Disclaimer: I'm not an actual massive rapist. Please disregard. The pixels talk to me. Sorry.
What did they say, Yesik?
Actually, they tell me to like love thy neighbor. Pretty much religious dogma. I don't know. Kind of weird, actually.
Are we talking about leprechauns?
We're talking about pixels.
Oh. Okay.
But I was going to initially take a huge stance, like to hell with this. But to be honest, in terms of pedophilic content, unless the game is made dark on purpose in terms of that content, like there's a depressing scene, I have to agree with the censorship.
Yep.
Yeah, I really don't see a problem with it. I mean, and I've seen some of the screenshots of the different costumes.
They look better, don't they?
Yeah, some of the more censored ones look a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am kind of disappointed that I have to wait like 2 months for the release. Because as an LPer, that means I'm probably not going to end up actually playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, be that as it may. Midnight, what else is on your plate?
Steam machines.
Oh, Jesus. Computers that run on Linux. Next. Sorry, I'm not even going to talk about that.
Well, I actually think that The Steam machines are an interesting foray into it. I think that Valve is really trying to break some molds that have never been broken. I really, if there is another company out there that would be able or willing to do this, I would rather it be Valve, because they know they've actually been working on hardware for a couple of years, and some people seem to forget that. Like, they've been working on the controller prototype for a little bit, and things of that nature. But
I kind of want to talk about that, like, eventually, but whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, the boxes themselves, I think where the Steam box is going to fall flat on its face is the fragmentation. Out of the gate, just day one, there's 13 of them. Are you kidding me? Like, I can understand the budget one, like, the lowest end one and the highest end ones are probably going to be the ones that sell, because you either want a budget Steam box or you want the best of the best. Now, another place where Steam box really shines is that it's modular. Like, I can open the thing, pop out the graphics card, and slap in a new GTX. And that's fantastic. Or I can upgrade the SSD. And no other console really does that well. Now, there are consoles like the PS3, you could swap out the hard drive. I haven't played with next gen yet, so I can't, or current gen now, so I can't really say with 100% certainty, but...
You can swap out the hard drive pretty easily with current gen now.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's it, though. Like, with the Steam box, if you want to slap in a new SSD, you can. If you want to change the graphics card, you can. And I've also heard rumors around the mill that some of these Steam boxes are going to come dual-booted with SteamOS and Windows. The way the controller is pretty interesting in the sense that I think it can operate as kind of like a trackpad. So the way that Steam is going about it, in my opinion, is really the only way that it can be done. At least that's what it feels like.
Okay, the thing is, the reason I got so irreverent immediately is because it's just a pre-built computer. You can run it on any pre-built computer, and these are they're charging more than the base value of what's in the computer.
That was what I was gonna say as well.
So it's insanity, because I could dual boot my computer and just run SteamOS on it, or I could wipe the whole thing and just put SteamOS on it. It's the same thing as a Steam machine.
I think the Steam box's goal is not to replace the PC. I think it is to give console gamers an option to see what the PC realm is like. Now, on the token of cost, I mean,
upwards of 10,000.
About $300 to $700 of that is the graphics card alone. Whereas on current gen consoles, your cost is more delegated because there's no variety in that. These graphics cards are not being mass produced. Like, in the sense that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and all the other consoles are as well. They're just not. So that may be one reason for the variety, but
Sounds like bad marketing.
Then what they should have done is actually had a Steam machine where you could swap out the graphics card, but they did mass produce a card. Like, they could have easily gone with a 660 Ti, which was my previous graphics card. Would have cost like $100 a piece. They could have had it mass produced, gotten it for like $70 or $60 a piece, and had tons of really good machines for a reasonable price. That could also boot Windows.
Sure, and this may be the reason behind it, and by no means this is all really just brash assumption, but I would assume that the reason that they're having so many different flavors, quote, if you will, of Steambox, is that if you have, regardless of what you want, if you don't know what you want out of a Steambox, you're going to go for the cheaper solution. And as you learn more about it, you can get more expensive stuff. Or if you're a high-end gamer and you know...
But if you know about the Steambox, surely you got to know what you want, like...
Right. But the thing with the Steam box is options. You're given options, which also sets it apart from the game consoles of the current generation, because those are all static.
Okay, but
if I want a Steam box that glows, if I want something with an Alienware sticker that I can show to my friends and give them a massive nerd boner, then I can do that. Or if I want just some box to be small and there, it's the same core. I don't have to go out and, like, you can't build...
Okay, the problem is the Steam box is defeating its own purpose. The purpose of the Steam box should be a break into the consoles. And it's not breaking into the consoles because FutureShop is not going to stock 10 billion Steam boxes. Because There's so many of them. It's basically a computer.
That's the point,
People
though.
are not going to have a major release. No, because what you want
But
to get
they're
into the
marketing it
mainstream
as a
market,
console.
Right.
they want to break into the mainstream market, and they're not doing that. They're being like, here's a computer. And everyone's like, well, I have one of those. So,
That's the way I feel.
Right.
It's like, I already have a PC. Why do I need a Steam machine?
Well, see, what the beautiful part is about this is, with the lower end, I think it's iBuyPower that has the lowest end. Okay,
Yeah.
if I'm a consumer, and I'm in the market for a new console, I'm going to say, okay, here's the Xbox One. I have to buy new games for that. Crap. Or, here's the PS4. I have to buy new games for that, or use their stupid stream service when my bandwidth goes in and out all the time. Crap. Or I can sit here and say, I've got an $800 Steam library already established on my computer. I don't need to buy anything else. It's there, and the quality of the product is pretty much on par, even superior to the current
but
generation consoles.
okay. You have an $800 Steam library. Where are you?
Why do you need a Steam box?
You already have the library. You already have the system. Now, if Valve itself, not iBuyPower or Alienware, had developed a Steam box, a single Steam box, that had a good graphics card, a reasonable price, a library of 800 games, then it would have been a really cool console, and they could have advertised it as that. Never buy your games again. Have online access wherever you go, but they didn't. They have, like, Alienware and iBuyPower, which are well-known gaming companies, and it keeps that accessibility still one step away from the average consumer who buys a Wii U because they think that the Wii's the next big thing for all their kids.
Sorry.
That's not why I bought a Wii U. It's because one fucking game came out from it, but that's besides the point.
Right. But my point is, I can see Valve's logic in this. Valve is not an OEM. They're a development company. They're not Microsoft. They're not Sony. And these companies have broad spectrums of specializations. And if you think about it, every one of these companies has dabbled in other fields. Like Nintendo does software and hardware. Microsoft does software and hardware. Sony does software and hardware. But Valve only did software. This is their first foray into it, and maybe they ask for help.
But see, if you look at a timeline of stuff, like a ton of game companies have done that, but most of them just switched to software because obviously that was more profitable. I mean, look at like Sega.
But Valve had the infrastructure they needed to actually switch to hardware. They had the OS. They own pretty much half of my net worth and half of the net worth of tons of gamers. And if they had created like a small portable box that was made by them and designed so that they can mass produce all the parts, then it would have sold. I don't think what they're making now is going to be any more successful than the Ouya, which is also well built, but I have one, I never use it.
There's no third-party support for Ouya, in my opinion, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yes, but they're just not doing what they need to do to break into that market.
Right. See, Valve has a lot with them and branching out into all these OEMs. It bodes well. It's good. There's support for these consoles. It gives the consumers options, which is huge, really huge. Like, think back to the PS3 days, okay, when they had different hard drive sizes built in at varying prices. It gets the same console at its base. The price point's different. You're paying for a spec boost, basically.
Yes.
I think that's one part. That's one part of this, and I can see Valve's logic in it, because they want to approach this cautiously. If Valve were to manufacture this, and it flops, Valve is screwed. They've ruined their reputation, and they've ruined any chance of getting into this market or redeeming themselves. Whereas if, say, for instance, I go buy the cheapest iBuyPower Steam box, and it sucks, I blame iBuyPower, because iBuyPower sucks.
Okay, but Steam and
iBuyPower is actually pretty great.
I know.
Same.
I'm just being...
Okay, I disagree that any computer manufacturer is good at all, because to be honest, you should always build and buy custom.
Correct. Yes.
Always. And I mean, even if you get the people at your local computer store or a computer store to build it, it doesn't cost that much more, and you end up with a better PC. So I think that
That's
almost
exactly what iBuyPower does, though.
iBuyPower does sell full-built PCs, and they do the bullshit markup.
Oh, no. Yeah, they do that, but I'm talking about doing their custom stuff, like...
I still see a markup as compared to just going to Memory Express as my local one and buying it.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I've gone to their online store.
I think the baseline of this is that the Steam box is interesting. The controller, I don't know about the controller. I'd have to use it to be judgmental on that. But what they're doing is cautious. It's ambitious. I think it's the right move given the current stage. Because, I mean, the PS3 or PS4 and Xbox One have just come out. They need something that is... I mean, I agree with you on the point that Valve could have just said, well, here is a static box. You have your Steam account. Just tie your Steam account to it. Bada bing, bada boom. You're done. Play some games in your living room. You know, get out of your chair and do this. I mean, it's... Who knows? It really is varying. I think we're on different sides of the fence. I see your logic, though. You have very sound logic.
I just think that what they should have done is not... What people want, what the console gaming community wants, is the ability to buy a console that has tons of support, that has tons of prospects for the future, and they think very single-mindedly, and I know they do this because I do when I think of the PlayStation or the Xbox. I, for some reason, have this hate Xbox mentality, which there's better reasons for than usual now, but that's still pretty stupid. So,
right.
So they want something that they can compare to those, not 10 billion things that they can compare to those. So I'm not even sure if it will manage to break into the console market, which was its purpose. Now, Not a Villain says that they have tons of specs and tons of different things that they're supposed to do. This is from the chat. And he says he could have talked about the breakdown and functionality of the box. And my point isn't that the box sucks or that it has no purpose. It's that its purpose is too spread out. People are going to be confused about what they're buying.
Agreed. I think it's going to be kind of the Microsoft Surface Pro versus RT sort of thing. Like Grandma Bacon Cookies goes to the store to buy her grandson a Steam box, and there's like 4 of them. Which one do I get? You know.
Most expensive one, obviously.
Yeah, the most expensive one costs, I think, in the like $800 to $1,000 range. I think it's even more than that. I'm not sure. Can somebody look up the most expensive?
The most expensive one is $6,000.
Oh yeah, there we go. Nice
Yeah,
and
that's
cheap.
just ridiculous.
See, the 1800 tier is logical because you already... Most people that are going to buy Steam boxes already have flippin' Steam. So they already have an established library. They don't have to go out and buy it. Because if you really think about it, an Xbox One is like, what, $599? Without games. So you have to factor in maybe $200 in games.
Okay.
I think the $599 model actually
Wait a
comes with
second.
2 games.
You just brought up the point that I'm trying to make. People who are going to buy a Steam box already have Steam. That shouldn't be who Steam is marketing to. At all.
They're trying to appeal to the people who are console... I don't want to say cavemen, because some people call them cavemen. They're console people.
There should be, like, ads up on YouTube that are like, never lose your games. Cross-generational gaming. New games as soon as they come out. It should be advertised to people who do not have Steam, because all the people who have Steam have the PCs to play it. And I'm playing in my living room right now on a 51-inch screen.
Well, it isn't for everyone, just like consoles aren't for everyone. So, I mean, it's really, we've seen pretty much every aspect of the spectrum.
Okay, so so you're saying consoles aren't for everyone, Steam isn't for everybody, or PC isn't for everybody. That's
Right.
clearly true, but I thought the point of the Steam box was to appeal to people who had consoles and not Steam.
They are to appeal to people who say, I bought a console because I think building a computer is too expensive and complicated. It's not necessarily Steam itself that is the marketing point, it's the accessibility of the Steam library that's the marketing point.
I still think that's a bad marketing point, but we should probably move on. It's already been quite a long time on this subject.
It's a good discussion, though. Good discussion. Anything else you got, Midnight?
Yeah, I have other stuff, but I just want to say that I'm not going to buy a Steam box.
Neither am I.
Oh, there
I'm
is.
not-
I might just because my
I have
PC
no reason
sucks,
to.
but-
Oh yeah, Banazama should.
Benazima would actually be great marketed towards, or that's a great person to get one, a cheap one.
That he actually is, yeah.
Or build a Steam box. Get a mini ATX. Build your own Steam box. That's another part of it that's pretty cool too. But
for that stuff.
let's
Oh yeah, Benazima couldn't build it, I don't think. He might be able. I don't know.
Who
I'm a
knows?
caveman.
I got the people at my computer stored to build my computer.
Probably the best idea.
I smacked an egg on a cardboard box and my computer came out, so that was pretty cool.
That reminds me of this video that I saw where somebody took an Xbox 360, rubbed it on their leg, like brushed it with a toothbrush, and like took hamburger and just like put it on the Xbox and like smashed eggs on it and like.
Oh, that's how
That
to
sounds
basic.
Like How to Basic, yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely how to basic. Which I was impressed with for one video.
Same here. So let's go ahead and move on.
But I'll admit, that video
Okay.
had me laughing out loud. It's one video that they'll get you, but it's a great video.
So, the people that are making the Tomb Raider re-release are defending the $60 price because they're saying that they put a lot of work into it. Now, do you think that's true? Because the PC thing came out and you could basically just put it at max settings and it would look like what it looked like now. Or do you think they're just kind of BSing everybody?
I
I
have,
have no doubt they're
Like,
BSing
yes
it.
to
Everybody.
me.
to be honest, I thought the admiration for Tomb Raider was a bit overblown,
Agreed.
and that I wouldn't pay $60 for the original game when it came out. So, yeah.
My thing is, I get it. As a developer myself, game developers deserve to get paid for their games. But if your budget is so overblown that you need to upcharge your game because you feel like the manpower that you've already allocated in the past to games with a smaller budget deserve more. I can understand that, but to me, this sounds like a money grab. This is almost as bad as DLC.
Well, you know, I actually... Well, it depends on how DLC is done. I've never minded DLC that much. Completely re-releasing the exact same game with slightly improved graphics?
Not an excuse.
That's
Yeah.
that's not new. That's not new
Word
content.
does that. Yeah. How much work
That's
could
just
that
bullshit.
possibly include? Really? It's not like
They
you're-
said that they put work in, but I don't think they. Excuse me. I don't think they did.
Like, what about all the other HD like remakes we've seen over the past few years?
Right.
Like, none of them ever tried to pull this stunt. Well, maybe one of them did that I never heard of, but I mean, Metal Gear.
I just done goofed really
Fine.
bad in my Isaac run.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now. Boy,
Way to kill the momentum.
Even that new Assassin's Creed game, though, the one that was originally for Vita, it's coming out on Steam like tomorrow, and it's $20.
Huh.
But I'm saying that like because agreeing with Benazima that like other people don't do that, even greedy people like who does Assassin's Creed?
Ubisoft.
Yeah, those greedy guys.
They're not like this anymore, but they used to be Mr. Let's claim everybody's fucking videos because they're advertising our game for free.
I think there is one thing I saw, but it's like GameStop re-released the Metroid Prime trilogy, but charged like $80 for it.
What?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, but that was actually GameStop doing that. I don't think that was Ubisoft.
No, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
So, but Ubisoft, I would like to point out that they did used to be that person.
Yeah.
They used to be the Nintendo of the Let's Play community. Now Nintendo has that firmly in their grasp.
I hear Konami's pretty bad too.
Konami's getting
Yeah,
bad.
Konami's kind of being pretty bad
Konami
about
is
it.
still around?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's keeping them up.
What?
Really?
Metal Gear's probably keeping them up too.
I thought that Metal Gear switched from Konami.
No, it's still Konami. Last I checked, anyway. I'm not 100%
I haven't even
sure.
like played a Metal Gear game since 3.
I'm going to check Revengeance.
Well, to be honest, I looked at Revengeance. I'm like, hey, good spectacle fighter, but spectacle fighters never give me enough value for money.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not for everyone. My brother thoroughly enjoyed it.
And well, no, I would enjoy the hell out of it for the time I played it. But like, just because of the base gameplay, like how the game has to work, it's fairly low in terms of value for money.
I see. Well, if you ever see it on sale, you should just get it for the sheer sake of playing against the final boss. That stuff's gold right there.
I heard that.
No, it's still Konami.
Yeah, I heard that the humor and just spectacle of it was incredibly worth it if you're into that type of thing. But I'll wait for it to be like $15, which I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, no, that sounds fair.
Didn't it already go on sale for $15 before it came out?
Maybe.
I think it actually
Before
did.
it came out, it was $15.
Yeah, like it was on sale during one of Steam's sales, and it was like $15.
Huh, crazy. I even when I say $10 to $15, there's so many things I'd rather pick up.
Yeah, you have a channel to keep running, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Not to mention, I think out of my 250 games I own now, I may have actually played 100 of them.
Damn.
Because of this whole mentality where I see things on sale, I'm like, hey, I really like the look of that game. I'd better pick it up.
I do that too.
And I like 90% of my icons are just grayed out. I'm looking at them right now.
I download everything. I just don't play it.
That's kind of how I feel.
I mean, some of these I want to play. I feel like I'm not gonna have time to ever play them.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it was actually you who bought Dishonored for me, Misty Pony, and I
You
haven't
haven't
touched.
played it yet,
I haven't touched it. I really want to. I loved Dishonored. I watched like not whole playthroughs, but segments of playthroughs on it, and it was really good. But I just haven't had time.
I have it downloaded. I've played it and I beat it, and I like got through it without killing anybody throughout the whole thing. And I eventually downloaded it again, and I was like, oh man, I gotta play this. It's so fun. Never did it again.
Seemed like the type of thing you'd like.
No, it is the type of thing I'd like. It really is, and I'm going to play it. But that's like
You just don't know when.
Yeah, that's just one of the games that that's one of the games I have on my list that I know I'm going to play. There's several of them that are like, remember how much I shit talked what's it called now? You know, the one with the big boobs?
Gee, that's like that narrows it down so much.
White woman abuse, my life is so bad game.
Dead or alive?
No.
Yeah. Dead or
Alan-
alive, fighting game to abuse.
No, it's what's her name with the bow and arrow? Year of the Arrow.
Katniss.
No, not Katniss. They didn't even make a Hunger Games game, and to be honest,
Wait.
I have a lot I could say about Hunger Games. I hate that goddamn book. But
This isn't the time or place.
no, this is not the time or place. But
I'm seriously.
we were
playing
talking
Don't
about
make me
this.
laugh.
We were literally talking about this game, a tiny bit of it, a tiny,
Tiny
a
bit ago?
little while ago. The initial mistake with her boobs was that somebody accidentally entered 100 instead of 10 as a numeric value, so they
Oh,
ended up
Tomb
as
Raider.
Tomb Raider. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's no bow and arrow. Why'd you get bow and arrow as like the signature thing for Tomb Raider?
I think I said Tomb
Because
Raider
because
once,
oh
drowned
did
out.
you? Because the new Tomb Raider, the signature thing is bow and arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
always been
really
the twin
get that.
pistols, man.
Yeah, twin pistols.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. But yeah. Anyways, how much I ripped apart that game? That is the type of game that I'd also pick up during a sale and just leave in my inventory. So there's the ones I'm going to play eventually, which there's like 3 of. Desktop Dungeons I see on there. Deus Ex I haven't played since I picked it up.
I haven't played Deus Ex either since I picked it up for console, but whatever.
But there's just this whole sale thing that I'm almost getting a bit of like dissociation with sales. I'd rather just ignore them.
I'm starting to go that way because I'll pick stuff up and then just like, when am I ever gonna play this?
Dishonored though, I'm definitely going to play. Don't worry about
But
that.
that price,
Although-
though.
That's one thing. And to be honest, whenever there's a sale, it's usually I pick stuff up for other people.
Actually, during this sale, I managed to pick up about 20 games that I'm eventually planning on giving away in a contest that will have something to do with pickle art, but don't know when that's going to be.
Pickle art.
Pickle art.
Just wanted to make sure I understood you. 10-4.
Hashtag pickle art.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's from one of his Monster Hunter streams.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So let's go ahead and move forward.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move to our next segment, which is the anticipation segment. We've had a few upcoming releases announced for 2014. What's everyone excited for this year?
Something to come out for next gen. Just anything.
Anything at all.
I actually made lists for all this stuff. So I've got like 10 games for 2014 I'm looking forward to.
If you had to pick 2 of them, what would you pick?
2?
Yes.
Rebirth.
Dragon Age Inquisition?
Okay.
As long as it doesn't suck like 2 did.
It will. The same.
And let's go Pillars of Eternity, because that looks a lot like the Infinity Engine games I loved.
I think that one looks pretty interesting, actually. I looked into it a little bit today. Didn't do too much research.
Okay, I actually have a new answer, but it's such a stereotype. I'm an indie game YouTuber. Haha. Mugenics and Binding of Isaac Rebirth, both Macmillan games.
Eugenics.
That's not a bad thing, though. I mean, you can be excited for indie games.
I know, but they're like both the stereotypical games that every single indie game LPer is looking forward to this year.
Got it. Okay. What about you, Midnight? What are you excited for?
Like I said, I was excited for Nidhogg, but I didn't know that it was coming out yesterday like it did, and then I ended up buying it for like 5 different people.
That game is so much fun.
I know. I've been playing it so much. I'm just going through like the Steam list thing. I got into Strike Vector's beta. That actually seems like a really cool game, but as soon as I tried to launch it, it crashed. So I was like, I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm excited for Broken Age.
Okay.
Oh, Broken Age,
probably
yeah.
never...
I'm really looking forward to that one too.
Good stuff.
I just really like turn-based RP or turn-based tactical. So much fun. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Is that turn-based tactical?
Broken Age? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. There's a point and click.
You mean the Double Fine game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's turn-based tactical.
Oh, cool.
And,
I'm even more excited for it now.
And generational too. So you like actually breed your heroes.
That's pretty cool.
And try to like get traits that are good and try to save your heroes that have good traits so you can breed off of them. It's really fun. It's sounding fun.
That's awesome.
If I'm thinking of the right game, which I'm pretty sure I am.
It sounds like a more slow-paced, what was that one game you bought for me a long time ago? Rogue Legacy.
I bought you Rogue Legacy?
Well, you had like an extra copy or something because you bought it twice on accident.
Yeah, on an accident. Just like right on top of that accident.
Yes, you were on the accident.
You're all over that accident.
Oh man, I hate when I just... Sometimes I end up falling asleep up there.
You accidentally the accident. That's what happened.
Sorry, I can't help it.
I don't know if this comes out this year, but if it does, this is probably one of the things I'm most excited for. I think it's called Cyberpunk 2077. You all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The tabletop RPG?
Yeah,
It's based on it.
Oh, it's based on it. Okay.
That made The Witcher are making it.
Interesting.
I'm actually really looking forward to The Witcher 3 eventually, only because I am involved in the PR group who is giving away free copies of that.
A little bias.
Yeah. So I know I get it for free, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'm involved in that too.
I'm pretty pumped for the Mighty Number 9 beta.
I forgot about that.
I don't know. There's a controversy going around with that made me kind of sad.
As a backer, I can tell you that controversy has passed.
Excellent.
A lot of that crap has died down, thankfully. The community's kind of settling. I don't want to say settling, but there's some other stuff, and I mean, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it outside of the forums, but I personally don't really care about the community manager. I don't really care about anything like that. I just want this flipping game to be made. Keiji Inafune is awesome. His game design principles are pretty good, are really solid. And, I mean, it's Mighty Number 9. I mean,
Okay.
Capcom doesn't give a crap about Mega Man. We're all in unison about that.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate, but true.
To be honest, I don't mind even if he had made it even clearer that it was supposed to be Mega Man whatever number he wants it to be, I would have been happy with that if he had ripped them off more, because it's his game, it's his IP.
It is, and this is an original IP, and the way that it's being fleshed out. I mean, I'm looking at the screenshots from the Kickstarter forums and stuff of the gameplay and action and some of the concept art. It's really getting me pumped. I'm really excited about this game, and a lot of people are getting pumped about it too. So, yeah.
I really wish this construction wasn't happening here.
I can't hear it.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just afraid that you guys keep hearing me cough and
Vigorously masturbate?
Yeah, that too.
I'm not sure why I'm accusing you so often of that today. I have to kind of
Maybe
apologize.
because I'm just doing it that often.
Possible. By the way, you do have a mute button. Like, the volume mute is also just a voice mute.
Yeah, I love that mute button.
So, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew about it because I had to use it when I first got the mic out. I didn't hear anything at all, and then I was like, oh, there's a mute button.
I think I hear rats drinking.
Yep, you do hear a rat drinking.
I know that sound very well. Anywho, so are there any other titles everyone's looking forward to?
There is one more I'm looking forward to if I had to pick one more, but I'm kind of pissed off it's going to be delayed for PC. Is Dark Souls 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
My fiance pre-ordered the collector's edition for me for a late Christmas present.
I'm just getting that on PS4 if it's going to be delayed.
Yeah.
No, it's not coming out on PS4.
What at all?
It's last gen.
Oh, it's last gen. And I'm sure there'll be PS4 versions as well as PS3. They just won't be scaled up for PS4 specs. Unless they're going to go with, like, the stupidest marketing ever.
Oh no, it is FromSoft.
How could I? Yeah, I agree with what Misty just said. And also, I don't even remember what I was going to say, so never mind.
Toasty.
Were you going to say toasty?
Misty!
Who uppercutted?
So
No PS4? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Let's
Well, you know, it's surprising. There's Persona 5 coming out for the PS3.
Oh my goodness, I
sometime
forgot
this
all
year,
about
I
the
think.
Persona games coming out. I'm excited for all of those. There's like 12.
Oh, wait. Can I
there's the
actually
dance one.
can
there's
I
the
actually
sequel
bring
to
up a
Persona
news
4
subject?
Arena.
Sure.
PlayStation 4 announced that they're going to start an old game streaming service, which I'm not sure if I'm like they're going to have a subscription-based or a rental service where you can have old games that were on PS1, PS2, and they'll do this to like PS4 and to some TVs will even have the service. Now, a lot of people might be excited about this, but it pisses me right the hell off. Because you wouldn't believe how many times I have bought Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9.
Damn right.
And now they're going to make me not only buy them again, but rent them if I want to play them on my new consoles?
Yeah.
You can just play them on your old console.
My
It's on
PS3
Steam.
my
want to play them
PS3
on
broke
our new
down.
console.
No, my PS3
Why?
broke down.
Yeah, your PS3 broke down and you have Steam for that now, right?
Yes, but Steam, the port to Steam for the Final Fantasies, or at least 7 and 8, which are currently on there, is so bad I can't even set up the controllers.
Really?
Oh,
I had-
wonderful.
And the music is all like really, it's like bit compressed bit music on Final
Ooh,
Fantasy
that's
8.
rough.
They ported it so badly that it's unplayable.
It's fine on the Vita.
So I'm
Oh,
just,
yeah?
I don't have a goddamn Vita.
You should get one.
No, I
Just
shouldn't, because I should be able to
PS3,
play
man.
my goddamn games.
It's your PS3.
Oh yeah.
That's all
Well,
I
here's
can
a whole
say.
carton of cigarettes.
Sorry. So some people might be happy about that. I'm really pissed off. What are your guys' opinions?
No Mega Man
Well-
Legends, no dice.
That's just
I'm
what
always of the
Brian thinks
believer
about
that if you're gonna play your old games, you should just keep your old consoles, and any like re-releases you should just treat as a market for people who missed it the first go around and can't actually play the games because, you know, they're rare now or something like that.
Does that include HD re-releases?
Possibly. I don't
Half
know.
and half.
Like I haven't given it enough thought to give it the full opinion, but I mean,
Well, what about
more
those special,
options is never bad.
This is directed more towards Yesek, but what about those Kingdom Hearts 1.5s where it has like 6 games in it? Or whatever.
I don't know. To be honest, Kingdom Hearts lost me after 1. I played 2 because
Me too.
it was a jolly romp through my old childhood cartoons, which was fun. But it takes itself too seriously these days, and
Yeah.
the stories were confusing, and I think it was 2 games weren't released in America between 1 and 2, so the story makes
No. All the games were released in America. They were just on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Sorry, games were released on the Game Boy Advance to fill in the gaps, and it just nothing made sense.
No,
It doesn't
like
make sense.
it's the worst franchise I've ever seen for that.
So they take a game about mixing Final Fantasy and Disney characters. Good idea. They take it takes itself way too seriously. Kind of iffy idea. And then they release on like 3 separate consoles and a story that makes no goddamn sense unless you play all of them.
Yeah,
Really
yeah, pretty
fucking
much.
horrible idea. Sorry.
I think them fragmenting the story to different platforms was the downfall. Like if you didn't play, what was the first spin-off? The
Chain of Memories.
Chain of Memories. If you didn't play Chain of Memories, you had no idea what in the hell was going on in Kingdom Hearts 2 at the beginning.
Actually,
Well-
2 was the easy part. Like you could kind of figure out what happened.
Right, but if you really
as soon as 3 comes
not
out,
at-
there's
at-
like
at the
5 different
start.
games in between right now, and all of them are canon and important. That's gonna be a gong show right there.
Yes.
But
Mark my words.
what they should have done is not taken the story seriously. If they hadn't taken the story seriously, or if they had gone in like a Final Fantasy format, or maybe even in a format where every story happens in the same world, but is separate, or separated by
pretty much.
generations, that would have been great. I think that would have been... Yeah.
My opinion of Kingdom Hearts 2 was Roxas should have just been the main character. And that would have just solved like nearly everything.
Yeah.
I haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game. I'm kind of gonna avoid it now because I don't want to be confused.
Well, no, you can still do it if you can follow any of the Final Fantasy games, like completely. If you can follow Final Fantasy 7, you can handle Kingdom Hearts. It's really not that
they're
complicated.
not on the same level. A better comparison is if you can follow Metal Gear, you can follow Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I'd say if you
That's better.
I'm not sure. I found 7 and even 8, even though the plot was stupid, fairly easy to follow.
Yeah, exactly. Metal Gear.
I think they were trying to say 7 in all of its branches,
Right.
like Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a
Advent
then that's only
Children.
7.
Don't talk to me about Dirge of Cerberus. I'm not happy about that.
Who cares? You
We
can
don't- I
ignore
enjoyed
Dirge
watching
of
Advent
Cerberus,
Children.
though.
Oh no, I
Advent
enjoyed...
Children was amazing.
Advent Children was Final Fantasy porn. It like fuck the story. We just wanted to see assholes fight it out, and that's what we got. I liked it.
I
was
would
what I was there for,
kind of agree, but there's like Cloud being emo for half the movie.
Yeah,
in
but you can just
between
ignore
it.
that. That's like
Yeah.
them trying to... What's that
was
famous
episode 7.
porn version of Pirates of the Caribbean? It's like trying to
It's
keep
just
track of the
pirates.
plot in that. It's pirate porn. It's Final Fantasy porn. Ignore the plot.
Yarr.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll accept that answer.
All has been accepted by the high and mighty Banazma.
It's very hard to get its acceptance. I'm kind of happy about it.
It actually is really hard to get his acceptance.
So let's take some chat questions.
Okay, anything in the chat that you guys have heard about that you want to ask us or that we might know more about than you? Put it right now. Yeah, there's a Pirates of the Caribbean porn
It's
game.
just called Pirates.
Is it just called Pirates?
Yeah, just Pirates.
Oh, I didn't know that. I heard it was hilarious. And porn.
I only know this because my dorm decided, or like it's a tradition in dorm culture to like watch it every year. So
That is so much better than actually watching Pirates of the Caribbean every year.
yeah, well, it might be. I don't know. I haven't watched it because I was a good kid and studied.
Pretty sure everyone's seen Cowboy Bebop, Jake.
Yeah.
I still haven't,
Except
not
for-
in its entirety.
Except for Banazma, and every time Banazma comes over, I just try to play... I know we won't watch the whole series, so I just try to play an episode that's kind of funny, so he only gets the out-of-context one-off episodes.
God, smart move.
Have you seen Samurai Champloo, Benazima?
I don't watch anime anymore.
Okay, this guy's just
Well,
not
except
my
maybe
friend
Kill
anymore.
la Kill, but
You watch Kill la Kill, but you don't
no
watch
Attack
good
on
stuff.
Titan, no.
Okay, no,
Attack on Titan,
no anime
yeah,
here.
Let's remove the anime.
Let's
topic
stop.
Because
Can we stick to video games, please?
Anime
Yeah.
is
Well,
on
you
like.
know what? There's this fan-made Attack on Titan game.
Yeah, no, that's enough. That's enough.
Hey, have you heard of the fan dub of Sailor Moon?
No, no,
Sorry.
no.
Heard of Dragon Ball Z Bridge?
Right now.
Dragon Ball Z abridged fan dubbed.
Oh my God.
No, okay,
Recipe
let's
for
stop.
Nuclear explosion. All right, so
Guys,
Back on topic, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just at one point I was looking through. This isn't talking about anime. This is just talking about something ridiculous I saw. I was looking through some anime, basically looking for something really bad to watch for fun. Like I'm talking Garzy Wings bad.
Oh.
So I forget what I was looking up, but I was on Google and I looked up one anime and I'm like, okay, sub fan dub. Fan dubbed anime. Worst idea I've ever heard. It was so bad.
Gemini 647 asks, so PS4 or Xbox One? The gauntlet's been laid down.
well, he actually said Xbone, and the PS4 sold more.
I think personal preference.
Yeah, what games do you want to play? If you want to
Not
play Killer Instinct, don't get the PS4.
Yeah.
Can I say Wii U?
Yeah,
Even
you
though I
can
don't
say
own
that.
one yet.
I to be honest,
There are a couple of games coming out for the Wii U that I want.
out of those, out of the current gen, I actually have to go with Wii U, even though it's like a huge failure. So far,
Yeah.
just because it's been out
I
for a
actually
bit
played
longer.
this really cool rhythm game on Wii U. I just gotta say that.
Oh, Rhythm Heaven, or that.
No,
Bayonetta 2.
it was one where you're like a Viking lady and you jump over goblins or something.
Have any of you have any of you played Crypt of the what's it called again? It's like Rhythm Mancer or something. It's like a rhythm-based dungeon crawling roguelike game that's really fucking weird and kind of awesome.
That sounds like an amazing but really difficult combination of genres.
You said Rhythm Mancer?
It might be Rhythm Mancer. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I think it was in alpha last time I checked. But
I suck at rhythm games.
I looked up
played-
Rhythm Mancer and the first thing to come up was Kingdom Hearts screenshots.
Oh boy.
I did that on purpose. No, okay. They got
I think, I personally, I'm kind of biased because, like I said, I'm a developer, but I like the Xbox One, and before I get blown up, let me explain.
you like Xbox One, the company that is really known to be horrible in third-party support?
And yet they had of the previous gen, the #1 selling console. But
I just want to throw it out there that I do have an Xbox One and the third party stuff is pretty awful.
So yet they haven't released Unity Pro. They only did it to a couple of different developers. But the reason I like Xbox One is because it's powered by Windows Azure. And for those that don't know, Windows Azure is the cloud platform that Skype operates on, that Apple's iCloud operates on. It's a really powerful.
You develop games for Apple?
No.
Again, you're spouting nonsense to me in terms of this being a positive.
So all right. So we're in agreement that Kinect was originally pretty terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The ability to cut my TV cable box and console on with a voice command and sign into my profile via my face is actually really damn handy.
Yes, PlayStation has. Well, it has a sign in with your face thing.
Fantastic. How many games support it? The
Um,
iToy 4.
Wait,
as
you
everyone calls it.
only need to sign in once. Why would
Okay.
you ever need to sign in again?
Multiple people.
Yes, so
That's
you all
true,
have your own
we
account on the system. It
What
identifies.
if you have a family member or friend comes over that wants to play your console?
Then it signs them in as a guest.
Okay, then you have to sign in again.
Yes, but
Yes.
it signs in the
Okay.
second it sees your face.
We're done. We're done. I'm dropping the drumsticks here. Anyway, so I think that's pretty cool. The Snap integration is really nice.
Oh, Snap is awesome.
I like-
Except
I
there
like
are
the
some
thought
things
of-
you can't snap, like YouTube.
That's understandable, because they have to scale it down, and it would look pretty crappy scaled down. But
what if you're just using it for music?
Just use Xbox Music.
Can you describe Snap integration for me?
Pay $15.
Snap integration, basically, if you haven't used Snap on Windows 8 or on a Surface tablet or anything, it basically takes an app that you have, say for instance Skype, and it puts it on the side of your screen. So it moves your game over slightly, and it shows just enough information for the app that's snapped to be pertinent. For instance, if I'm video chatting with my wife via Skype, and I'm sitting there playing Dead Rising 3, mauling some zombies with a chainsaw hammer, you know, I could just say Xbox Snap Skype, and it'll or Snap Skype, call Jennifer, my wife's name, and it'll automatically call her, and her face pops up the side, and I'm sitting there owning zombies, talking to my wife. Or if I'm stuck on something, I can say Xbox Snap Internet Explorer, Bing, Dead Rising 3, how do I shot web? And there I have an instant search while not getting interrupted in the game.
That's pretty cool, I must admit. But during the intro to that, you put me into shock by naming like the 4 things I hate most about computers these days. So I was like, I couldn't move for a lot of. You're like tablets.
I paralyzed you. I'm sorry.
You're like tablets, multitasking, Microsoft. I'm like, oh.
It's
Windows 8.
Windows 8, and I'm like, this
It's one of those don't knock it.
I think you mean Windows Great.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of those things. It's one of those don't knock it till you try it.
I've tried Windows 8.
I'm talking about the Xbox One.
Oh, the Xbox One. I don't know. I just
In theory, it's terrible. In talking about it, it sounds like a crapshoot. But when you actually get your hands on it and actually try it, it's astronomical.
It's wonderful.
Not to mention, the main reason I dislike Xbox, and I'm going to offend somebody here, so I'm sorry already,
It's Microsoft.
is that the community is fucking awful. I hate them. I've been on Xbox.
That's any community.
No. I mean, I've played Call of Duty on both Xbox
Yeah, but
and this.
that's
No.
an FPS community.
Okay, I've played Call of Duty on Xbox and on PlayStation. The difference is that the voices swearing at me tend to be a tiny bit older on PlayStation. And to be honest, I have an easier time dealing with that.
Wow.
Because when I'm being shit-talked to, I prefer it not to be by a 12-year-old.
So this is a good question from Ryzane in chat. If you were forced to play 48 hours straight on an Xbox One or Steam Box, what would you pick?
Steambox.
Steam Box.
My library is bigger. I'm going to agree with that.
But do you have Killer Instinct?
Do you
Yeah,
really
I'd
need it?
choose
I would
the
be
Xbox One for Killer Instinct.
I would be occupied just with Kingdoms of Amalur. Just
I've got to say...
Don't bring that up. Banazama's here.
I've got to say, and me, you forgot that I fucking hate that game too. It's like
Yes,
it's like the
What?
it's the standard of bland
You-
mundaneness. No,
can't
it's
talk to me, yes.
it's a decent
I
okay.
want to get that game, but
It's a decent RPG, but there is nothing special. Nothing. They didn't innovate in any way, shape, or form at all. In any way, I've seen Let's Plays. I've seen huge playthroughs of it because Force did it, and I follow Force, and it's just bland. The camera is always looking at the ground, so all the skyboxes are wasted. They're all useless. The environments are not as pretty as they could be because of that. The RPG elements are very basic with very few trees to actually go up. The items are very basic. The armor doesn't look like anything special. It just plays well.
I agree with the armor, but have you played the Dot Hack games for the PS2 by chance?
Yes, I did a lot.
It's almost exactly like that to me. Like it feels like a game that should have been an MMO, but it isn't. And they were actually working on Project Copernicus until 38 Studios went down. May they rest. God bless Kurt Schilling.
Well, actually, I think they were originally first making an MMO, but then they decided to make Amalur, and then they decided to make an MMO again.
Right. So
Okay.
they used the same engine. It was literally they took for what they did and what they had to work with. It's awesome.
I would like to actually rescind something. If it had co-op or multiplayer of any kind, I would have been all over that game.
Right.
But
Agreed.
but it didn't, and all my points still stand. Like for an MMO, that would have been something special. Even for a co-op RPG, that would have been something special. But as my As it is, my points all still stand that I just made. They did not innovate in any way for a standard RPG.
Gotcha.
The
I
combat
keep
system.
looking at Amalur, and then I'm thinking, well, I'll just play Raiders. Has anyone played Raiders?
I'm very offended, just in general.
Okay.
You see, Brian, I just gave up after the first 3 podcasts with them.
Well, I'm not one to usually give up. It's just Amalur has, I don't know.
The combat. It was standard, all right, fun to play, fluid, nothing really special. The story, standard, all right, nothing really special.
Well, no, wait, whoa, time out. I'm gonna stop you on that point, good sir, if that's okay.
Having somebody come back from the dead at the very beginning is not innovative.
It isn't, but there are at least 7 or 8 branches. Like,
Yes,
no one that does,
Fable has that too.
No one that does the Let's Plays that I've seen, at least, has actually gone into the individual guilds. There's actually really immersive. Like, I'm sitting on almost 6 months of Amalur playtime, still haven't seen the flipping ending.
You still haven't seen the ending?
Nope.
I'm standing on that much Skyrim time.
Right. See, when I bought
There's an
Amalur,
ending
I
to
had the
Skyrim?
choice. I had the choice of buying Amalur or Skyrim, and Amalur caught my eye. Like, just the fates themselves, just the fate alone was amazing. Like, what? All right, I shot an arrow through a cyclops the size of 4 or 5 cities.
Well, you know what I would actually be really psyched about? If a Skyrim came out with the combat of Monster Hunter. Like, okay, I have to preface this with something. I was really looking forward to Skyrim because I liked the idea of fighting dragons and having really big
I play WoW.
and having really big epic fights that take a long time and that you actually have to use strategy about.
Raids.
What is
And
that game's
then
name?
and then I played Skyrim and I like shot the first dragon with an arrow in the back and it died.
There is a game I want to recommend to you about dragons, but I can't remember the name of it.
World of Warcraft?
No,
Um,
it's
you could get me to play World of Warcraft by torturing me and paying me at the same time.
I play World of Warcraft, and it's mainly for the social aspect with my friends, though.
Oh yeah, it's my experience with World of Warcraft, and I can understand how it could be fun, but my experience
Dragon's
was
Dogma.
oh yeah,
You might like that.
I've heard good things about it, but my experience with World of Warcraft is I played for like 2 months actually at one point, 2 months straight pretty much, and after
That was my first 2 months. Yeah, first 2 months straight.
after that 2 months, I was like, I have never at any point had fun during this. So I stopped and never looked at it again.
You missed everything.
Did you raid much?
No, to hell with raids. They're just
Yeah.
it's
you
it's like all MMOs. It's just standing around and selecting your attacks in the same order every time. I might have been in a different
what I
mind
think.
if I had played during the initial release where everything was super hard. But I didn't. I played during the new release where everything was like watered down easy. And
What game are we talking about?
wow.
Wow.
Oh.
And
That's why you might like Raiders as well, because it's different. It's more action-based combat.
And,
you dodge and stuff.
to enjoy a game, I need hard. I need challenge.
Although Raiders is kind of easy.
Yeah.
To be honest, all you got to do is grind.
I need
Then again, that's the problem with most MMOs. You just have to grind.
I need Isaac, or I need like Monster Hunter, or why is there so much slowdown? Sorry,
Or Nidhogg.
Nidhogg. Nidhogg was great. The amount I've played so far. Although I would appreciate if they'd add more maps, maybe over time. I don't know. 5 maps seems like a bit little to me.
I kind of just ran through most of Nidhogg, just jumping over
That's actually a
everything.
really good tactic, though. Except for if you
If you're playing a
if you
human.
don't have your sword and you jump over them, they will throw your sword at you and you will die.
Well, then just jump backwards.
No,
Like a
you
Twinkie.
can do a duck roll to avoid that.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Sorry, there's lots of strategy. I'm not talking right now. Somebody else talk.
So, are there any other questions?
I just gotta say,
John?
Soul Sacrifice is an amazing Monster Hunter clone.
I've heard good things about Soul Sacrifice, but I don't own a Vita.
I think
don't really-
Sacrifice is amazing.
I think there should be more Monster Hunter clones. It's a combat style that isn't used enough, and it can involve lots of strategy and lots of teamwork.
It's a sort of faster paced Monster Hunter, but it's awesome.
It's also
I don't really know
selling.
how I'd consider it faster paced, because oftentimes when I see people as good as Yesic play Monster Hunter, they kill stuff way faster than I do. But when I play Soul Sacrifice, I kill stuff a lot faster than I see other people do it.
Monster Hunter. The problem with Monster Hunter is the general inaccessibility. If you're not introduced to it by somebody, or you didn't get into it at a young age, it's kind of impossibly hard.
Well, I've been playing it since the first one came out, but with the new one, I started using the bow, and I never used the bow before, and I never switched to a familiar weapon. That's just the only thing I've been using.
Sorry.
I just use great swords, and I tend to do okay.
Great swords, actually kind of known as, well, don't take this as an insult, because you can be really good with a great sword. Great swords are known as a noob weapon just because they're so easy to learn, and then you can master them as time goes on, so it's pretty much the ideal first weapon to learn.
I actually started with dual swords.
Yeah, that's the worst weapon to start with.
But I really like the way dual swords played.
Yeah, dual swords is nice.
Anyways,
Well, it
doesn't.
did we have any questions? Sorry, I'm probably the one who got us on that tangent.
Yeah.
But did we have any questions? Never Rome Total War. I haven't played Renault. They're all just chatting.
Yeah.
Weren't we gonna go over like our best games and disappointments of last year?
Yes, we are. And I suppose it would actually be a good time to go ahead and just transition. Oh, but, well, Gemini 647, no to good music. Anything that isn't dubstep.
Well, there's good
Says the guy
dubstep.
that's putting dubstep in our game.
Yeah,
Shut up.
dubstep has its uses, and it has good. You can get good dubstep, like you can get good any music.
Yeah.
It's just that the
exactly.
prevailing type of music that you hear on the radio or in clubs is bad dubstep.
Isn't that just any genre of music
Yeah.
though?
Like I'm not very big into dubstep, so I can't give any examples. But tell me that the music they used for the goddamn Borderlands 2 ads was not awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's
Not a Villain asked how you folks like Starbound.
I
Starbound.
don't
like
play
it.
it.
I like it better than Terraria, but the thing is, it doesn't feel like it has as much content as Terraria right now.
Yeah, right now.
Are you kidding?
Right now, I'm kind of stuck on it because I just don't see an end goal.
Yeah, it's kind of.
There is an end goal though.
Yeah, but it's not pointed at enough. I don't know. Terraria, I
It
basically.
points at it more than Terraria did.
Yes, but I was very, very disenchanted with Terraria incredibly fast, so that point doesn't work on me.
We should actually stream Starbound after this if you want.
We should stream Starbound after this if I want. That's quite
So,
the.
I have
Sorry.
I have a confession, everyone.
Okay.
Also,
have a
don't
what?
ask me about music. I have horrible taste in music. I was just listening to Erasure earlier.
A what? Era? Sure.
Erasure. Do you know the Robot Unicorn Attack music?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
you
I like that
you
song.
mean Erasure?
Whatever it's called.
I have yet to play Starbound.
Meh.
I
It's
haven't played
fun.
Starbound
Does
either.
anybody in here not have it yet?
I don't.
I have it.
I don't really want it.
Brian, do you have it?
No.
I can buy it for one person.
Is somebody playing
Even
with
broader.
a like extendable cardboard knife?
I think
Yes.
someone might. Yeah, that's like an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, that sounds like an X-Acto knife is being played with right now, and yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
like
the
that.
noise. Whoever just
Yeah,
did that.
That's me.
Is that
Put
exactly
that
what you were
away.
doing too?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Please put that stuff away
Are
for
you
a
watching me,
podcast.
Yesic?
What was that?
What else is Skype Premium for, Brian?
It's pretty much I can screen share and video chat at the same time.
Exactly, video chat. So of course they're gonna watch you.
Watching me.
It has those.
No, I'm just fairly good with noises. One of my favorite things to do is if you try really hard, you can start to identify people by how they walk. So everybody has a different sounding footfall. It's a lot of fun. Did I just cut off, or do we have another topic? Hello? Hello? Did I mute you guys somehow? Call on hold? Who put the call on hold? Should we, like, recall? Oh, hello?
Hello?
I
Where
think we
am I
lost
back?
Midnight.
What?
Apparently my internet decided to go, "Ah!"
That sound specifically?
Yes, that sound specifically. My modem emanated that sound, so.
That's awful.
I think it might be possessed.
Maybe. My apologies, everyone.
Or dial-up. Could be either, really.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's true. So,
I'm gone to this.
Now we just need Midnight back in here and we can move on.
Move on or do an outro, because it's been like an hour.
Fair enough. Or we can just do an outro.
Do we want to go over the biggest
Disappointments of the year?
Oh, disappointment.
disappointments and the opposite of disappointment? I can't recall the word at the
We
moment.
might just do disappointments. Just because we've been talking. I don't know. Brian was talking about let's not do a top game of the year thing, so I don't know.
No,
2013 was pretty disappointing for me, so
2013 just didn't have much happening. It didn't have any like really standout games that people are spending thousands of hours playing. You could say that it had not Minecraft, nowhere near Minecraft. You know the one. Maybe you don't.
What?
It had the PC release of Spelunky, but that wasn't really anything new.
mm-hmm.
And other than that, it didn't have anything that people obsessed over too much.
I have a list of games I played in 2013. Yeah, it's not really much here.
Pokemon, but that disappointed me.
I have
Pokemon
Pokemon.
X and Y?
I enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing X and Y, but I can't deny that in terms of overall story and gameplay, they were pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, like
same.
I told you it was inferior, and you didn't believe
No,
me.
I still enjoy playing
Inferior
it a
to
lot.
Black and White?
No,
There was
yeah.
so little post game.
There was so little content in general,
Yeah.
and the content that there was really annoying. So
What I've heard speculation that there will be more Gen 6 content as DLC.
DLC.
I've spent 30 hours in the game so far, and I've just gotten Surf.
Then you suck.
yeah, I got to agree.
No, I don't. I've
Pokemon.
like caught like almost 200 different Pokemon.
Oh, if you're catching everything, that's different.
Yeah, I just didn't bother because I like to catch the new ones, and there wasn't a lot of new ones to catch. So I'm like, okay,
So
whatever. I guess
little
that
in
makes sense.
2013.
Yeah.
X would have to be my biggest disappointment.
Just the sheer.
My
Yes.
biggest disappointment of 2013. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Mine's the new Ace Attorney game.
I
The
didn't.
one that was so hyped up because, it's finally the return of Phoenix Wright, and then it crashed. Well, for me, it crashed and burned at the end.
You know, it was a really fun game. The Harvey Birdman spin-off of that. That was real
That was
good.
hilarious. I wish I could have finished it at your house.
Oh, so good. So good. And just Harvey Birdman in general, if somebody in the chat or in this call has not watched that entire series, find it.
It's great.
It is
Yeah,
so
that
good.
was a great show.
Stephen Colbert's in it.
That's
I didn't know
plus.
he was in it.
Yeah, no, he plays on the guy with the eye patch. The
I did
director.
not even know that.
Yeah. Crazy.
I think my biggest excitement.
Est-ce que tu es excité?
My My biggest excitement was Mega Man joining Smash Brothers Brawl, or the new Super Smash Brothers.
Except, is that really an excitement this year? I guess it does count.
Next year, or last year, yeah, that announcement was pretty hype, I suppose.
My biggest excitement was The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. That game is fucking amazing.
Let's say
the Zelda for the people that don't like Zelda.
Let's say what
It pretty much is.
Let's say
But
what
even if you like Zelda, it's still good.
Instead of excitement, let's say what I anticipated most and what I'm most dreading, because most.
That's a good one.
Je suis excité in French means I'm turned on. So you guys are like really throwing me off here by saying this over and over again. And I'm like, oh god, stop it.
Why did you... What? I think... I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to say.
The thing that was announced this year that I am the most hyped for, the two things are the new possibly Xenoblade game and Smash Bros.
X.
Yeah. It's right now it's just called X. It could be Xenoblade. It could also not be Xenoblade.
I need to finish Xenoblade, god damn it.
I need to start an LP on that, even though it won't get any views.
It's a good
yes,
game.
like everybody that I've seen that's like a fan of yours. Everybody I've seen that is a fan of yours says that they'll watch it.
Yes, I know, but
yeah, but like, the number of fans and the number of subscribers GSIC has is kind of proportionally small.
As it is for everyone. Subscribers do
Yeah.
not necessarily watch all you put out. They only watch the interesting things.
Exactly.
To be honest, I may not actually watch that because I haven't finished the game.
You're a terrible person. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Just
Misty watches
watch up to
everything. Yes,
like
it
the
has.
part where you left
No,
off,
I do
finish
watch
the
pretty
game,
much
and
everything.
continue.
Well, I like to think of myself, it might not be accurate, as somebody, one of the more laid-back YouTubers like Northern Lion, but I will actually respond to you because I don't have 10 billion subs. Not because Northern Lion's not a nice guy. Definitely.
That sounds about right.
Oh, and
Excuse me.
considerably less clever than him.
Yeah, you have,
Yeah,
you
you
have
never
different
pick yourself
sorts of
I
intelligence.
I blame it on too much head trauma in my earlier life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I did
Yeah.
say LP of Xenoblade, and I do realize I told a lot of people I'd probably be doing that.
Oh, now that you said it in public, you have to do it.
I've said it in public like 3 times.
Well, that means you're gonna do it 3 times.
It's just, it's actually such an ugly game. Like,
To be honest, for the Wii, it's really nice looking.
I found an HD repack of a lot of the textures, but even then it's pretty ugly.
Well, that's because it's on the Wii.
Yeah. And I like things that present well. I'm not sure, maybe I'm just being stupid, but... Just wait,
I'm
somebody...
trying to think what the best thing on the Wii I've seen is. I'm probably going to have to say Twilight Princess, even though I don't like the Wii version of that.
You know, I would say...
Why doesn't anybody like the Wii version? I'm like the
Because
only
it's
person
more
that
intuitive
does.
to use the gamepad on the GameCube version.
Yeah, can't you just hook up the GameCube controller to the Wii and play with it, though?
I'm pretty sure you can on that game.
You can't?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, the whole reason that something with the sword play or something with the Wii
Yeah, you
nunchuck
have
or
to shake
something.
the
The whole game was reversed. So if you use a gamepad, it messes up like this whole thing. So I don't think you can.
Yeah. And I was stupid and I got rid of my GameCube version, and now I'm regretting that every time I want to play it.
I still love the Wii version. So
I'm not saying it's bad, it's just I originally played the GameCube version and I like it a lot better.
So what you're saying is the Wii version's inferior to the GameCube version.
It feels that way.
Isn't that true for every game that came out on both Wii and GameCube?
Agreed.
Pretty much.
what other game came out on both?
There were a few. I forget them now, but there were a few.
That was so long ago, so last gen.
Come on, dude.
Truly last
Live in the present, man.
I love the GameCube. So many good RPGs on it.
It's true. I love the PlayStation 2 for the same reason.
Were you playing through Crystal Chronicles, Misty?
Yeah, but I was using an emulator, and I lost my save, and I just don't want to go back to like it's like 8 hours of gameplay I need to redo.
Ugh.
That's a shame.
Okay.
Also, the emulator slowed down parts and really messed up the sounds.
Ooh.
If I do it again, I'm just gonna do it on a capture card.
Yes. Sorry.
So, yeah. If there aren't any other questions for chat, I think this would be a good spot to go ahead and wrap things up.
Let's talk about Shia LaBeouf quitting life.
You mean about being an actual cannibal?
What?
You've never listened to actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf? Really good song.
The only thing
I
that
don't know
surprises
why
me is
we're
he
on
got
this
away with
topic.
plagiarism 3 times.
Right.
Wait, what was that, Misty?
That he got away with plagiarism 3 times, and it was the 4th time that he just quit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he why is this isn't a gaming topic though? I don't know. I'm lost.
Right.
Yeah, but Midnight Podcast is about whatever we want it to be.
Yeah, well, we completely cut down the anime section.
Yeah.
Oh, the
So is
no
that
no.
because
apparently
it's
it's
not
not
video
just
games. I
anything
thought we
wanted
were
to
doing
do.
that because it was getting really
The
opinionated.
thing is, if there was an anime section, I would kill so many people, and I would alienate all the audience.
All
For
24
a
people here would
reasonable
die.
guy, I would not do that.
Because it is my personal opinion that almost all anime, like every single form of media, is shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree.
Except I know that people are going to start naming anime that they think is good and that people have acclaimed in this current season or two, and I'd be like, it's shit.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
don't know
true.
if you can say if it's shit, but just because there's good ones that are acclaimed in the season or two that they're bringing it up doesn't mean the vast majority of them aren't bad.
Like now,
I
Brian.
finally entered the realm of bad anime, and I go, wow, this is pretty bad.
No, even things that people
90%
are
of
saying are good these days are real bad.
Yeah, like people are really liking Attack on Titan, and as I was gonna say, Brian, shut your mouth.
No,
I think
no,
it's bad.
you do not want. You're gonna offend.
Okay,
so
no.
many
The
people
thing with that is the story is actually real bad, but it is shocking, so people think it's good.
I think it started off cool until a certain character wasn't dead.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I kind of get the same
And
vibe.
apparently that happened 4 times.
I get the same vibe from Death Note, except it's the character is dead.
Let's stop right here, though.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I could go off
'Cause
on
we're-
Attack on
we're-
Titan, but I'm really holding back because I know it's an opinionating topic.
But
so-
I will admit, it was pretty fun to watch. I did watch it, but it wasn't good.
I had to quit after a while.
It
I mean,
wa-
actually, I got to a highlight, and I went, okay, you know what? If the series ended here, I'd be perfectly happy. The rest of it doesn't exist for me.
It's like if I right now I'm watching a couple of actual TV shows, and one that I'm watching is Cutthroat Kitchen. And is there any real point to that show? No, it's just fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like Alton Brown. I like watching people not be able to cook. So
That's kind of the reason I watch Kill la Kill. I just watch it because it's fun.
yeah, I watched that too. I thought the animation was actually really good in that.
I just love how everything's so super serious, even though it's not anything remotely important.
But
I
anyways,
pretty much stopped watching TV.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I
But
do.
anyway,
There are things that
let's
I've
move
watched that I
on.
would still call trash. Is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at here.
but let's move on for reals this time. Actually, maybe
Are we
close
wrapping things up?
So we're talking
Yeah.
about Steam machines then, right?
I
Alright,
say we
let's
can
wrap-
probably wrap things up at this point.
Oh, let's see if there's
Yeah.
any last second questions before we wrap it up. And
Hey,
I see
Yasik,
none,
remember when
so-
you beat Isaac in 2 hits?
Yes, I fucking do. You were the only one in there. I have no fans from that time, so I only have one witness who remembers. It was the
Was
first.
that Killer Joey?
Yeah, no, it was Game Master.
Oh, okay.
The first time I played through Wrath of the Lamb, I killed Isaac in 2 hits.
What items did you have?
I had Brimstone, Sacred Heart, Polyphemus. I had Max's head. I had, what's it called? Stigmata. I had pretty much had every major damage upgrade and every major damage modifier.
God damn.
Yeah. And I also scummed the prayer card with the Nun's Habit into getting like 10 billion health. And that was my very first Wrath of the Lamb run.
Well, that's the only way you should play Isaac, scumming it up.
It makes it so much more
Exploit
entertaining.
everything. You know,
I
I've
kinda
been
burned
watching
out
some
on
other
Isaac.
LPs of Isaac, and I am always yelling at the screen and going like, "No, why aren't you optimizing?" I blame you, Yesik.
If you're...
You have taken away the joy of casual Isaac.
I don't even... The only person I watch play Isaac is casual. If you want to watch really optimized play, the only person you can watch is Bisnap.
Hey, you're pretty good at optimizing.
Yeah, but I don't actually have an LP.
Yeah, it's true, but I mean on
You just stream
stream,
it once in a while.
like, just one stream of you just ruins all the other casual play. People are like, "Oh, I want to keep my health, so I'm not gonna take mom's knife," and I'm like, "You fool! Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
They're like, "I'm gonna reject every deal with the devil on the off chance I can get a deal with the angel." Fools! All of you!
I don't even understand how to play
I tried
Isaac.
optimize, but I just don't record it anymore because I'm burned down on it.
Optimizing can actually be really hard in this game because there's a lot of things to remember. Like, every situation you have to think, is there a better way I could be playing this entire segment? And usually there is.
Yeah, well, all you gotta do is slow down a little bit. Everyone's just like, "Oh, let's go down. Oh, I forgot the, Sacred Heart that I left for, after the boss. I guess I don't get a health upgrade."
Like, NL barely ever gets Sacred Heart. I got Sacred Heart this run and plenty of other runs because of how much I reroll. And I bombed myself twice to get this in the deal with the Angel Room.
We're kind of going off on a tangent again.
Yes, but that's what I do. Anyways, let's cut it. Outro.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, this has been Midnight Podcast. Matt, do you want to give some information on it?
You can find us at youtube.com/user/Midnight Podcast, and I'm about to post that into chat. I think I actually have a thing where I can type /midnight, but I'm not going to use that. And you can find us there. And I'm also going to be on iTunes soon, so you can get our podcasts there, and then just watch me do Let's Plays or whatever that actually happens. And I also have surprise stuff coming soon. So,
Is it butt sex?
yep. Actually, yes. Have I told you about it?
The surprise butt sex? No. You have not.
Oh, I remember telling you about it. So never mind. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep,
Bye.
see you then. Bye.
Bye.
I'm not actually ending the stream yet because I want to finish this run.
Right. Yeah. It's
Fair enough.
all good.
I think I have it won. It looks like I have it lost, but I actually have the Ankh, so I revive with 4 Spirit Hearts.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I also have, what's it called? Yeah,
What's who's it's?
Max's head and Horror Babylon. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
The thing with the face and the name.
Yeah, I can't.
So are we gonna stream something after this?
No. Now there's that.
We could
guy.
all do Starbound.
Yeah. I don't feel like
Nearly all of you.
Starbound.
I actually need to take off because I have not eaten lunch or dinner yet.
Same.
Ooh, how do you live with yourself?
Actually, I haven't eaten breakfast yet either, to be honest.
Jeez,
I'm a pretty.
I don't understand that.
I'm a pretty
Like,
heavy
my
guy.
body will just freaking shut down if I don't eat.
Yeah. I feel like
I've had a few potato chips. That's about all I've eaten today.
You guys are actually making me hungry. I think I'm gonna make a sandwich after this.
Don't forget your orange juice, Midnight.
A sandwich?
Yeah, I need to go buy some.
Yeah.
Your hot bath and your orange juice.
Oh,
I would
what?
actually enjoy a hot bath right now.
I'll catch you guys later.
All right. Take care.
See you later.
Does anyone else want to take over the call?
No. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed everything. And I will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Yeah.